Hi, my name is Cherie, and I am currently Associate Director of Immunology Research at Biogen Idec, which is in Cambridge, Massachusetts. For me, immunology was sort of one of those aha moments. I was chugging along in school, and I was a chemistry major, and that was basically because I wanted to be a math major, but the math majors were weird, so I decided chemistry was better. I was in school in Baltimore at Hopkins, and everybody wanted to be a doctor. And I actually went and took an immunology class. And at first, I was like, okay, I'll just take it just to see. But then I got really, really, really bitten by the bug, which was to think that you could take something inside of you, tweak it in the right way, and actually get rid of disease was, I don't know, it was really fascinating. It was one of those where instead of needing to take a drug, you could just sort of push things one way or the other. And the thought of that was really exciting. And the thought of being able to develop something that would actually do that was even more exciting. So I went from an interest in medicine to an interest in science. And I guess from there, history was made for me. The best time in my professional life was giving that first oral presentation at actually AAI. I was nervous. I thought I was going to faint multiple times. I was scared to go out the night before because I figured, I'd break a leg or something. I got up on the podium, gave my talk, and it felt so good. It felt so good when it was over. Sort of the first moments, I think my voice was cracking, but once I got through it, it was very powerful. And then afterwards, I think that was when it was the best moment, because people came up afterwards and they asked questions. They were really interested in what I was doing. And so it basically took what I thought was interesting and confirmed that other people thought it was interesting too. I would say if someone looked at my credentials, they would probably say that my greatest achievement was winning the big NIH award, which was pretty impressive. But I think for me personally, the greatest achievement was being asked to be on a committee. Because you can do the things that you do, and usually with awards you apply for them and you either get it or you don't. But when you're selected for a committee, that means that other people look at you as a key player and someone that they want to be part of the group that makes the decisions that are moving things forward. Why am I a member of AAI? Honestly, it's the premier society for what I do. It brings together all the players in all the fields and all the diseases, all the conditions, all the pathways, anything that you can think of. They're going to come together in the AAI annual meeting. And the best part about it is that you might be sort of beeline toward one disease, but you can go to some of the other seminars and really learn some other things that could be applied in your disease. But I think for me, membership is such a big deal because it's being part of that society. It's not just going to the meeting, but it's networking with the people. It's being part of the group, sitting on committees, knowing that what you're doing is really going to impact the people behind you, the people next to you, and the people in front of you. What can we do to increase diversity, to increase the pool of women, to increase the pool of minorities studying immunology? Well, I would say first we have to make sure it's interesting. Second, we have to make them feel like they're not going to be marginalized. And third, we have to make sure they feel like their opinion matters, because one of the most critical things to me in terms of moving biomedical research forward is knowing that everybody brings their own perspective. And if everybody comes from the exact same background, they're only going to be able to address the question the exact same way. But when you have people from minority communities, women, men, when you bring them all together, everybody has a different perspective, and it really is going to make answering the most complex questions, it's going to be a lot more creative in the process. Advice that I would give young scientists and those behind me, I would say there are a couple things. The first is don't be afraid to try. You always have something to bring to the table. I would say also it's really, really, really critical that you understand the dynamics of your work environment and don't just assume that if you do the science, all the opportunities are going to come. You really do have to not only do great science, but also make sure people are aware of who you are.